How to captivate anyone, anytime, any place. Remember the old joke, the comic comes on stage and the first words out of his mouth are, "Well, how do you like me so far?" And the audience is always cracked up. Why? Because of the huge grain of truth in that question. Whenever we're talking with somebody, we're aware, consciously or subconsciously, how they're reacting to us. Do they look at us? Do they smile? Do they lean in toward us? Do they somehow recognize how wonderful and special we are? We like those people. They have good taste because, we figure, they recognize our greatness. Or do they turn away, look unimpressed by our magnificence? The cretins! This technique, called your personality softener, makes everyone you meet feel that you somehow mystically recognize their uniqueness, their greatness, and they will love you for your mystical powers of perception. It's a body language technique, but I don't want to wait until a body language tape to give it to you. I want you to have the opportunity to start using it right now. This softener technique is like a lifeboat, because if your mind goes blank and all else fails, you can fall back on it to make everyone respond warmly to you. When I was living in Europe and not speaking one word of the foreign languages, I used the softener technique every day, and I started getting feedback on how everybody thought I was such a nice, friendly person. What do you mean, friendly, nice person? They hadn't understood one word I'd said, and I hadn't understood one word they'd said. Yet the softener technique made everybody feel that I was on their wavelength. This technique is very special because not only can you invoke it whenever you first meet someone, but because you can use it throughout your relationship 50 years down the pike, and you can start using it immediately on everybody who is now in your life. In fact, as soon as you've finished listening to this tape, go try it out on the next person you talk to, your husband, your wife, your kids, your friends, your enemies, and notice the difference in how they start to soften up to you. You can use the softener technique when you're having a conversation with someone who intimidates you and you don't want them to know it, and when you're talking with someone you really don't agree with, but perhaps for political or business reasons you shouldn't show it. The technique works with children, with old people, bosses, customers, clients. Even dogs respond to you better when you use it. I bet you're pretty curious by now. You should be. But don't worry, it's worth the build-up. I was first introduced to the acronym SOFTEN, S-O-F-T-E-N, by a friend of mine, Don Gabor. Don is a highly respected small talk champion. Anyway, I'd like to share and then expand on the acronym he taught me. Whenever you're chatting with someone, maybe while they're talking and you have a brief moment to think about yourself, go through this little checklist of the following 8 aspects of your body language. Remember, personality softener, S-O-F-T-E-N-E-R. It's appropriate because softness signifies suppleness, warmth, and love. Now remember, a lot of the following reactions happen automatically when you're using the hello old friend technique, but old friend is mainly for the first few minutes. The softener technique serves you throughout your relationship. Here we go, the body checklist. S is for smile. Obviously, a smile is the instinctive and universal reaction to show that you like somebody, and smiles are contagious. Many expressions are learned, but not the smile. Infants, in their first 24 hours of life, smile back when mommy smiles at them. So, while someone is talking, as long as they're not discussing something unpleasant or telling you a tragic story where you must express empathy, let a soft smile of acceptance frame your lips. Not a frozen grin, but a soft, natural smile. When I'm giving talks to groups, I'm acutely aware of smiles and frowns. I know my audience is with me when I look out on a sea of small, quiet smiles. And then I always know when I start to lose them because I see 100 smiles, 200 lip corners starting to droop at the same time. And then, when I get back to something that pleases them, 200 lip corners snap right up again. Whenever you're in conversation and the other person is talking, let that soft smile warm your face and their heart. But I have a little codicil on the smile. In fact, it's so useful I include it as an official technique. It's called the flooding smile. Don't just stand around a party with a prefab smile like the front end of a Japanese bulldozer on your face, as though anyone who happened to walk into your line of sight would be the beneficiary of your grin. No, use the flooding smile. Here's how it works. While you are being introduced to someone, don't let your smile come too quickly or automatically, as though anybody you were introduced to would get your smile. That's right. Don't smile immediately. Use the flooding smile. Look at your new acquaintance for a split second. Drink them in through your eyes. Then let a big smile slowly flood over your face, as though it's the vision of this wonderful new person that's giving you pleasure and making you smile, that you like what you see so much that you just can't help but smile. Say you've just been introduced to someone named John or Susie. Give John the impression that it's the essence of him, it's Johnness that's making you smile. Give Susie the impression that it's the essence of her, it's Susiness that's making you smile. Your flooding smile gives your conversational partner, let's call him or her your CP. It gives your CP the feeling that your smile is genuine and especially for them. They feel that you have somehow sensed their wonderful qualities, their extraordinary attraction, and their specialness over all other ordinary individuals. Interestingly enough, many folks who perch on the top rungs of the corporate ladder use this technique. The big boss at the company doesn't sit around in meetings grinning. He or she saves the smile to express special pleasure, so you appreciate it all the more when Big Boss smiles at you. Now, many people can tell if your smile is sincere. If it looks like a stretched rubber band, it's not. The sincere smile involves the whole face. You've heard the phrase, the smile never reached her eyes. Well, a sincere smile does reach your eyes. Let your smile overflow right into your eyes and give the person talking the joy of seeing themselves reflected in the twinkle in your eye. We have 80 muscles in our face, capable of creating about 7,000 possible facial expressions, and the most powerful of those expressions is the sincere smile. How can you make sure your smile is sincere? Let me give you a little exercise, and at the end of it, I'll share a technique that will make sure your smile is genuine. I'm going to ask you to look around wherever you are. Ready? Now look around for everything that you see in the room that is red. Look for all the red objects. By the way, if you're driving, you'd better wait to do this exercise. I can just see you, because you're so into the exercise, happily sailing through a red light saying, "Oh, there was something red." Well, you see, officer, I was doing this little exercise to make sure I had a sincere smile, and no, not even your new sincere smile would work on the judge if you crash a red light. So drivers, if you want to play, pull over to the side of the road and stop the car. Okay, you have a fix on everything now that you saw that was red? Okay, close your eyes. Close them. Now keep them closed and tell me everything in the room that you saw that was blue. Don't open your eyes. That's right, blue. See how difficult it is? What this proves is that we find in life what we look for. So while you're chatting with your conversational partner, concentrate only on what you like about the person. Forget their bad breath. Forget that they crushed your hand when shaking yours, that you don't agree with their politics. If you think about those things, you'll frown. Think about the good things, so you won't have that fake smile. It will be sincere. Another method is to look into their face and search for their most attractive feature. Do they have a cute little nose, or twinkling eyes, or maybe an adorable dimple? Look at that and let the sincere smile flood over your face. Keep your eyes off that mole with the big black hair growing out of it. That will make you frown. S is for smile. O is for open body. You know how when you walk into some rooms, the furniture is arranged in a way that is just not inviting. It's cluttered, and the furniture causes barriers for a smooth walk-in. And then there are other rooms which just invite you to go in and plop down. The furniture is open, and you can make a beeline for that nice, soft, comfy spot on the couch. Well, let your body give off the same impression. Let your body be one of those open rooms, open for people to communicate with you. Your arms open and relaxed, preferably at your sides. Best of all, with your palms facing outward. Don't cross your arms in front of you. That subconsciously gives people a feeling that you're blocking them out. And let your torso fully face the person you are talking to. When your body is even slightly turned away, it gives off a subliminal sense of rejection. You've heard the phrase, "she gave him the cold shoulder." Don't give your conversational partner the cold shoulder. Open your body fully toward them. When we get to the tape on working a party like a politician works a room, we'll talk more about open body position. An open body position can make people at a party instinctively gravitate toward you. F. F is for forward lean. People lean toward people they like, and they pull away from people they don't. For instance, if a derelict approaches you on the street, your body will probably instinctively pull away from him. But if you encounter an old friend, you will instinctively lean forward toward them. One time I had the television on, but the sound was turned off. There was a rerun of that very popular TV show that takes place in a bar, Cheers. At one point, a derelict walked into the bar, and everybody pulled back. Then, a really good-looking man, a hunk, walked in, and everybody, especially the women, all leaned forward. So leaning forward toward your conversational partner throws off a strong signal. That strong signal says, "I like you." T. T is for touch. Within the confines of what is proper, a light, fleeting touch, say on the hand or the arm, is a potent opium to a relationship. We live in a touch-starved society, so the power of touch is very potent. However, you should use it judiciously, and when you do, it packs a powerful wallop. There was a study done at a large university library. The librarian, in checking out books to the students, was instructed to just give a light touch like a almost imperceptible brush of her hand on the hands of the students. For the next 100 students, she was instructed to treat them just the same as the first 100, but have no physical contact. Outside the library, the students answered a questionnaire about library services. Buried in the survey was a question about the librarian. An overwhelming majority of the first 100 students, the ones who had been touched, described the librarian as, quote, friendly and helpful. The second 100, those who had no physical contact, generally had no opinion, neither positive nor negative, about the librarian. Touch, if used subtly and correctly, can create feelings of trust and warmth. If used incorrectly, it can annoy and anger people. But usually, a fleeting touch on the arm or hand is a subliminal signal which says, "Hey, I like you." Interestingly enough, in a new friendship, women can use touch with men far more liberally than men can with women. Ladies, if you're dating a gentleman and he says something witty, a slight touch on the elbow with a warm remark like, "Oh, Carl, that's so funny," will probably make Carl purr. However, gentlemen, women have a bit more of a sense of privacy about their bodies, and touching too early might be inappropriate. However, as the relationship progresses, please use touch more. One of the complaints women most often make about an ongoing relationship is, "He just isn't affectionate enough." Gentlemen, brushing her hair back or straightening her collar while saying warm words is a very tender and much appreciated act. Now, concerning touch, those of you in the business world, forget everything I just said. No, I'm teasing, but touching is much more dangerous in business. So when in doubt, don't. Now, E. E is for eye contact, very important. People tend to look at people and things that please their eyes and avert their eyes away from that which they don't. When you keep strong eye contact, Your conversational partner, your CP, feels that you are interested in them and in what they're saying. It's disconcerting if you're talking to someone at a party and they keep looking around or over your shoulder. It gives you the subliminal message of, I'm bored with you and looking for somebody more exciting than you to talk to. But it's not really enough to just say, keep strong eye contact. There's another technique you can use with people which goes way beyond just, quote, good eye contact. I especially like this one. I call it the sticky eyes technique. As I said, people look at what they enjoy and pull their eyes away from what they don't. We treasure gazing for long, lazy hours into a cozy fire. Yet our hands jump up to shield our eyes from an atrocious movie scene. In my speeches, whenever I drone on too long about a particular point, the audience looks away. They bury their noses in their notes. Inspecting their manicures takes on prime importance. Some even nod off. And then, when I get back on track, their eyes flutter up like butterflies returning to the sunshine after a rainstorm. Subconsciously, we do the same thing in one-on-one conversing. When a bore has captured us, our eyes are the first part of our body to escape from them. However, when listening to someone we love, or someone whose ideas excite us, our eyes stay glued. We are annoyed if any intruder steals our concentration. If we must look away, we do so reluctantly and slowly. The time difference between quickly looking away from the bore or reluctantly pulling your eyes away from the beloved is only a fraction of a second, but it shrieks rejection or acceptance. Here's how the sticky eyes technique works. Whenever you are talking to your new acquaintance and you must look away, say somebody else begins to speak, let your eyes linger a fraction of a second longer on your new friend before looking away. This subtle move launches a powerful message. He or she feels that you are completely captivated and charmed by the words of wisdom or wit flowing from their lips, and you hated looking away. Incidentally, those of you in business, the sticky eyes technique is crucial in customer service. To experience it for yourself, the next time you're at a restaurant, watch the waiter. After he takes your order, does he immediately turn away, or does he keep eye contact with you that one extra beat before turning back to the kitchen? His lingering glance makes a big difference in how you feel about the service he's giving you. To the waiter, the difference in time he's giving the customer is split seconds, but it makes a big difference